Have you been caught with your pants down? Let me tell you a story. This is a true story about a time I had to run around inside a busy pub with my pants down. And this is when Alicia and I were doing a season at Mount Hotham, a ski resort here in Victoria. A few years ago now, before we had kids, we did a season up there together. Leash worked in the day spa as a massage therapist, and I worked from our apartment with my computer. And I joined a darts team to be able to get to know some of the other people that were there for the season. Great competition, really good fun. And I don't know if you've ever played darts, but the way that we played darts in the pub there meant that it was easy to win if you started winning, and it was also quite easy to lose once you started losing. The way the game of darts worked is you would sort of shoot for the different numbers, but once some of the numbers were already gone, you could no longer score from those numbers. And basically what it means is that if you were maybe halfway through the game and you hadn't scored at all yet, the likelihood of getting any score at all was really low. It was very likely you were going to lose if you were halfway through and still not scoring. And I want to just draw a little reference from that back to business before I finish the story. I know that there's a lot of people in business who kind of are playing the game, doing the best that they can, but sometimes feel like they're just not scoring. They're not getting the runs on the board that they want to get. Maybe this is how you felt recently. Because of all the other stuff that's going on in life, it might have become apparent that some of the way you were playing the game wasn't leading you to the win that you were hoping or expecting to see. During times of isolation, during times when a lot of people have been shut down and there's a lot of uncertainty in the world, it reminds me of a quote by Warren Buffett, the great investor. And Warren Buffett said, "When the tide goes out, you see who has been swimming without shorts." And basically what he means by that is that sometimes we're going through life running a business and everything kind of looks fine above the water. You look like you're swimming, you look like you're doing really well. But beneath the water, underneath, it's not just like the duck that's paddling really fast, but maybe you're actually not doing the job that you're meant to be doing or that other people think you might be doing. This can reveal itself with things like mounting debt. Maybe you've just never been able to pay off that credit card that you thought you might be able to. Or other things like living just week to week. You get your money coming in, but you never have any left over at the end of the week. It's always spent on bills and everything else, which just means you're never able to get ahead. You're constantly stuck in that rut of having to work more and more. And it's kind of fine while the water is high, when everything's going well and, in general, the economy and business around you is going okay. That kind of float keeps businesses like that. If you're running one of those kind of businesses or were running one, it can kind of keep you afloat. You can stay afloat with the general activity of everything that's going along. But as soon as the tide starts going out, as soon as we head into a time of economic uncertainty, where jobs are a bit scarcer, money's just not flowing the same way that it was before, the tide starts to go out, and you might realize that you've been swimming this whole time without shorts. And it's going to be embarrassing. It might even mean the end of your business if you continue to go along that way. There is a better way of running business. There is a way to win. Ideally, businesses should be set up so that everything that happens in there has a flow. Money flows in and money flows out, but you're able to keep some and have excess so that, you can pay off debt and ideally even build up cash reserves so that when the tide does go out, you've got stuff to rely on. Now, we've just come through a time where I know you're not alone. Hundreds, thousands, maybe even hundreds of thousands of businesses around the world are suddenly realizing that the challenges that have been presented and are still being presented by the current circumstances are revealing that they're just underprepared for what's been happening. It's not uncommon. But what I want to say to you is just because it's not uncommon doesn't mean that it's not making a big difference in your life, right? It still is real if you're experiencing that right now. And so as we're starting to kind of see that business is not returning to normal yet, is it? But it is opening up. We're starting to see more people getting out there. Lots of small businesses are opening in a new way. There's a whole lot of economic activity that's just starting again. We don't really know what the long-term impacts and ripple effect is going to be of this yet, but there is some movement happening in the right direction. We're getting open, and although it's great, lots of people are open and doing business, I can't really see it returning to normal inverted commas, anytime in the next, soon in new history coming up. We can't really see that going back to normal anytime soon. So how can you make sure that you're properly running a business that works during this time? And part of it is economics. Part of it is the fundamentals behind your business need to be solid. You need to have 3 things to be able to run a really solid business. And that goes for whether you're a massage therapist or basically just any small business owner. The number one thing that you need to have is a mindset that works really well. Mindset that can carry you through the tough times, that when you see the tide starting to fall, you don't just freak out and bail. You don't just bail out, but you're able to work through, put the things in place that you need to, and stay inspired to keep working through. Now, it doesn't mean we don't get scared. It doesn't mean we don't panic when things are going into struggle town. That's a very normal reaction. But the most resilient people are the ones who can react, have their little hissy fit, have their emotion, and then look at, what do I want from this? What's the goal, and what can I do right now to make that goal happen? The people who take inspired actions are the ones that make things happen. And so mindset is such an important thing for getting through these sort of times. That's number one, mindset. Number 2 is marketing. Finding clients and being able to serve a client base that is your ideal type of client, that loves you for what you do, that will keep coming back, that will pay you what you're worth because they value so much the benefits that they're getting from it. These type of clients are the backbone of a solid business. Without clients, you've got no cash flow. You've got no business, essentially. So knowing how to do your marketing to attract those clients in and keep them is super powerful in running a business. So marketing is number 2, mindset, marketing. And the third thing is mechanics. When I'm talking about mechanics, I'm talking about the systems, procedures, the finances, all those things that kind of run behind the scenes of a business that mean you're not using up all your time and energy to just make things work. You're keeping organized, you're keeping cash flow going, you're saving for the future, you're drawing down on funds when we have emergencies. But you've got all of that stuff sorted out and you're running a profitable and mature business behind the scenes. That's mechanics, and that's what needs to happen in any kind of business, even more so when we enter times of financial instability and uncertainty like we are right now. So I would just ask you to take a little moment to look at yourself quite honestly. The tide is down. It has been going out. It might be starting to come back in, who knows? But right now it's out and it's still moving out. And I want you to just literally and quite honestly take a look at yourself and say, have I been caught with my pants down? Or am I doing well? Now, if not, as I said, no shame in that. Lots of businesses are doing the same thing. But the way to get out of it is to take action, to look at those 3 things, mindset, marketing, and mechanics, and say to yourself, what is it in my business and in myself that might need to be improved if I'm going to make sure that I can keep swimming, that I can not just stay afloat, not just that bare minimum business anymore, but actually get to a place where I'm moving ahead and I've got extra. I've got the stuff that is able to be in place to provide for times such as this as we keep going through it and into the future. Now, if you're in a position where you look at that and you go, I really need some help with this, I'm great at doing the actual work. I love connecting with my clients. I love the hands-on treatments. I'm really good at that. I'm loving it, but I just need some help with the fundamentals of the business side of things. I want to get my mindset better. I want to get my marketing sorted out so I can get those clients in easily and quickly and cheaply when I need them. I want to get my mechanics sorted out so that I'm not spending all day and night on the computer doing paperwork, getting all these things sorted out that I don't feel like I should be doing. Instead, you want to be able to concentrate on the work and have everything else work in a systemized and functional way around you, so you can be confident to actually keep working in your business, knowing that no matter how unstable it gets, you've got the ability to respond to that, roll with the punches, do what's needed to make this business work. If that's you, we have the ideal program for you. You've probably heard us talk about this before, but we actually run a training program called Fully Booked Without Burnout, which is a 6-week program designed specifically to help massage therapists and other body workers and health workers to become, the hint is in the name, fully booked without burnout. It teaches you all about mindset, marketing, and mechanics. And across 6 weeks, it's not just training, but it's implementation. We guide you through the process in a way that helps you to actually put these things in place. And if you're looking to re-enter the workforce and make sure that you are running a business that's stable, that's got pants, so you can swim no matter how high that tide is, have the best opportunity to make the best out of this business, no matter what's going on in the economy around you, then I want you to get in touch with us and just have a chat to see if it would be right for you to be able to do this kind of program, and to see if it's something that we can help you with. If we together think that those things might merge, if we're a good fit for you and you're a good fit for us, then we can have a talk about what that would look like. But even if not, we can point you in the right direction. So I'd love it if you could click through, just make a time to call me or Alicia or one of our team. We'll have a chat with you and see if it is the kind of thing that you want to get with right now. Before we finish though, I want to share the end of this story. You know, I remember being in the pub, having that dreadful feeling halfway through this game of darts, looking around at my teammates and going, you know what, we haven't scored anything yet and this is starting to look dire. I don't know if you can relate in darts or in life or in business. It's almost like at that moment, the penny starts dropping and it's like, you know, we haven't seemed to be that far behind. It feels like we're playing an okay game, but we haven't actually got points on the board yet. And without them, we're starting to lose. And it's harder to lose once we've started losing. Sorry, it's harder to win. It's easier to keep losing. The pain of loss just sort of keeps going and going and going, and it becomes harder to win without a major change. Now, unfortunately for me in that darts game, we didn't get the major change. We weren't able to turn it around. It's the only game of darts that we lost the whole season without scoring a single point. And pub rules mean if you lose without scoring any points, it's pants down, run around. And they had this like pool table in the middle of the darts area. Obviously it's covered up when they're playing darts, but we had to pants down, run around the pool table, all four of us with our pants down twice, run around the darts table twice, so the pool table twice, while everyone's laughing and cheering and having a few drinks. It's all in good fun, but it's super embarrassing. And one little detail of this that I don't tell many people is that for some weird reason, you know, all my undies are pretty normal colors, except for one pair. I had this one pair of bright orange underpants that for some godforsaken reason I was wearing that night in the pub. So I'm tearing around this pool table, pants down, running around, bright orange underpants, and one of the most embarrassing moments of my entire life. But there you go. I want you guys to be able to avoid that same embarrassment in business if possible. So if you'd like to be able to, I don't know what kind of analogy I'm drawing here, but if you'd like to be able to avoid the pants down, run around embarrassment in your business, I'd love to be able to help you with that. You know, we definitely have pants on business coaching that we can be able to work together and really see that you've got some proper solid things to be able to do that. If that sounds like something you're interested in, get in touch. Can't wait to hear from you soon. Cheers.